I just want to share the time the Lord hit me in the face with a truck. That's what I call it. So at my church every year, every year people have New Year's resolutions, and I was one that had stopped making New Year's resolutions. Um, but in my church, we do something called a covenant slip. Every year, we'll write 12 things on a covenant slip. We'll sow a seed. We'll pray over it. The man of God will pray over it. We'll believe God and stand in faith for those things, to come to pass. But I would have a covenant slip, and year after year, I would look over it towards the end of the year or the next time that I was getting ready to make the next covenant slip. And I would notice that some of the same things would be there. They were not fulfilled, and I would rise up in frustration a little bit. You would see people who say, where's that man of God? It would be like a little joke or something that people would post on Facebook, that pastor that told you that it was your time and it was your season, and you still, you still like, what happened to that pastor? What happened to this? What happened to that? And so I just remember one year. It's been a few years. It's been several years now. I've grown up a little bit, but I was looking over my covenant slip, and I was a little frustrated because it was time to make the next one, and I was transferring stuff from one slip to the other. A whole year had happened, but nothing on my slip did. So I just remember being frustrated. I don't know that I really expressed it, but I was noisy inside concerning it, and if we're seated in heavenly places. He hears our every thought. It's broadcast on a loudspeaker in heaven. He knew. I just remember sitting, and when I finally arrived home and I had my slip, and I pulled in my driveway and I turned the car off, and it was like the Lord was like, look at your slip. Look at your slip. And for you, it could be vision board. For you, it could be a list of resolutions, whatever that is for you. Things that you say, okay, in this year, I'm going to this and I'm going to that. So for me, I had some things that had been on there for several years. And looking at it, okay, this one was here. Did you go to school? Did you register? Did you pay that old bill that that was keeping you from registering? Did you even try to go and do that? Those things. Well, why are you mad at me? Like, was I supposed to physically sit you in your car and supernaturally move the vehicle to the school to make you complete the paperwork? You could have done it online. You could have done this. You could have done that. I did my part. All of your classmates were handpicked, and they all showed up. Where were you? If you had been there, you would have seen my hand, but you did not go. I went. I had somebody there that could have given you a ride the day that your car broke down and you couldn't get to class to take your final. I had another person in there that was really brilliant in that subject that would have helped get you over the hump when things got a little bit tough. I had another person in there for comic relief when you came in there in a bad mood that would have lifted your spirits. Everybody was there but you. Where were you? I did my part. You said that that's what you wanted, and I moved heaven and earth to make sure that you could do that thing. The only thing that I didn't move was you. That was your job. Look at the next thing. I put this in front of you. I put that in front of you. He showed me a dream once. He showed me a dream once. And I was walking down this path, right? There was a large angel in front of me. He had cleared the way. And there we came to these doors. Those doors had been closed. The angel took those big old hands and he opened those doors, both of them at the same time, and started on that path and walked through that open door. He turned around and looked for me, and I was gone. I was gone. And looked, and I just saw it so vividly in my dream. He looked, and then he went and looked behind the door, and I was standing between the door and the wall, scared. And he was looking at me like, so many things come. Like, the Lord will prepare the way. He'll go before us and he'll make the crooked place straight. He'll break apart the bars of brass and all of that good stuff. But if we don't move and if we don't believe and we sit and we oscillate in the same place, then it's going to look like God didn't move. You can't blame God because you didn't move. I can't blame God because I didn't pay. What did I owe? $200-$300? I could have. Oh my God. You could have set an auto pay in your account and just sat out McDonald's once a week and just let a little $20 a week or a month go, and that tuition bill by the time registration came would have been done. I'm over exaggerating and oversimplifying, but the way had been made. I just didn't walk in it. So whose fault that my covenant slip, I was transferring the same thing year after year from one slip to the next? It wasn't my fault. I mean, it wasn't his fault. All I had to do was look in the mirror. God feeds every bird, but he does not put the food in their nest. When I tell you that was a truck to the face. I'm laughing because it's so embarrassing. Like, duh. Of course, you got to do something. You've got to do the work. Sometimes, and I'm in a ministry that's very prophetic. We see a lot of miracles. We see a lot of people get healed. We see a lot of, things like that. And so sometimes in those environments, we think God's supposed to do everything. You just say, I receive it, and all of a sudden it's just supposed to show up. Some people say, well, it didn't land on my porch, so I guess God didn't want me to have it. It's not going to land on your porch. Some things do now. When I was a baby Christian, I would see that a lot. When people would say, I feel like the Lord is telling me to give you that. Yeah, I was just praying for that, But then as you grow and as you mature, there are some things that you have to do. Like when the children of Israel, they were in the wilderness, right? God sent manna from heaven. Birds were killed and just dropped on them everything that they needed, and they still were murmuring and complaining, which is why they were in the wilderness for so long. But once they entered the promised land, manna stopped falling. Manna stopped falling. They had to go and pluck them big old juicy grapes. They had to go and do the work. You know what I'm saying? But they were in a promised land, a land of plenty. They were no longer in the wilderness. And so manna, do the work. But when I was looking on that slip, every single thing, I had a part to play in it. I had faith, but I didn't have any works. Faith without works is dead. And my slip proved it. So, as we end this year, and begin the next one, and we're putting our resolutions together, look at what you wrote down that you wanted to accomplish for the next year, and look at what you could have done but you didn't, and do it. Even if you have to list out every fear and title it my to-do list, do it. And the way will open up as you go. It will not open up as you sit. It will open up as you go. Faith without works is dead. You can shout, I receive it all year long, and you can be mad at the pastor thinking that he lied to you about your time and your season, but it is your time. It is your season. Act like it. Walk in it. Walk. He cannot order steps that are not being taken. You know what I mean? So as you end this year and you begin to make your vision boards, your covenant slips, your lists, your resolutions, look at the ones from the years past and put motion to it. Don't try to see the end from the beginning. Don't try to find out how you're going to get there. The way will open up as you go. I promise. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.